Hey guys, it's Amber. So today's video is going to be retail therapy. No, I don't mean we're going shopping. I mean we're gonna have therapy about retail. Alright, so today's video is going to be an anti-haul. It's been a long time since I've done one of these, and with my biggest push to finish some Project Pan products, I have been very good. I want you to know that I have been Project Panning it like a boss, and I've been wearing this lip color every day of my life. Every day of my life. So I have been searching online, Sephora, Ulta, but I've seen Instagram, all these new collections coming up from holiday palettes. So we're going to talk about things you can do to avoid overspending on holiday palettes. Now we all know that we love nothing better than to get all the things that we love in one palette that is affordable, because if you bought each one of these things separately, it costs much more. This is a great time of year to stock up on makeup if you are in the market for makeup. Like if you set aside some money, this would be the one time of year I think I would be like, go and get some stuff. But if you have a lot of makeup, this can be really difficult because you see everything and you're just like, oh, like it's like must buy, must buy. It's just so hard. Even if it's not a holiday palette per se, like finding makeup on sale is so hard because you're just like, if I don't buy it now, when will I be able to buy again? And when are we gonna get this deal? Like, and then sometimes you don't buy things and you regret it because you're like, oh my gosh, I could have gotten it so much cheaper, and then you end up paying full price. Like the struggle is real. And I'm not here to tell you like if you should or shouldn't buy something. I'm just telling you that this is something that we all feel. I had a friend of mine message me, ask me about a deal on Haute Look. I ended up looking at the deal to see if it was legit, and then I'm like, so the deal was for some Morphe brushes, and I did end up purchasing them because I got like a $100 set for $35, and I was like, no, I really want to get some more brushes. So I decided on that, but I literally took 2 Morphe matte palettes and put them in my cart twice. In my cart, out of my cart, in my cart, out of my cart. And I was just like, my husband even said, go ahead and buy them. Like, you use them for your YouTube channel, go ahead and buy them. And I remember just sitting there thinking, do I really need these? One of them was like super bright colors, and then I thought about this palette I'm trying to pan from Urban Decay, and I'm like, do I really need these? And yes, they're beautiful and they're matte, but at the end of the day, I was like, how much am I going to use these? And then the palette that was, the Morphe palette that was on sale, I just thought, well, I just barely bought this Makeup Revolution palette. And although not all these colors are matte, it's like, wouldn't this be very similar? Like, I'm not gonna find like this groundbreaking shade in there that is never before seen that I can't find already in my collection. So I didn't buy them. Yay! And it got me thinking again about things that I would like to purchase that I'm not going to, and what I'm going to be using instead. So you guys might have remembered I've done this video before. If you guys want to check that one out, I will link it somewhere down below, up above, who knows? But let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so the first one isn't exactly a holiday palette per se, but the Vegas Nay palette. Okay, there is no arguing that this palette is gorgeous. I mean, it just looks amazing. But I've thought about it. I haven't gone in the store and swatched it because I think that I would be more tempted to buy it. But I just thought, I have a beautiful palette that's from Too Faced that I love. And you guys all know what it is. It's the Chocolate Bar palette. And when I looked at the top row of the neutrals in the Vegas Nay, I thought, you know, I do have some really nice matte browns in this, and this is one of the reasons why I love it. I do have a purple. Obviously, it's not the same shade. That's more of a royal purple. But again, is that going to be a color that I'm going to be gravitating towards the most? Maybe not. I know it has a really gorgeous shimmery shade, but I thought, you know, that might be really, really close to this shade right here. Now, again, I haven't swatched them, but this is an amazing lid color. And so after looking at that, I thought, okay, I think I can get away with it. Another reason why I decided not to is because it comes with that loose glitter. I have pigments from Mica Beauty. I have the Mirabella one I'm trying to use up. I have ColourPop. And if all of that isn't enough, I have these amazing, which I need to get back out for the holidays as soon as I'm done project penning, these amazing super lustrous shadows from e.l.f. So I don't see where I'm having a lack of gold glitter in my life, so I feel like I could pass. The next one I'm not really tempted to buy because I practically already have it, but I just want to let you guys know that if you missed out on the Cheeky Sweet Spot, they do have a new Cheeky palette out, and it's taken out the Bella Bamba, and then it's given you a Their Real mascara and liner. And I'm not sure if the price is exactly the same. I don't remember what I paid for this, but I think it's around $40. I think I might have paid $38 for this, so maybe a little bit more than last year's. So if you did miss out on this and you were just like kicking yourself, that is a great opportunity to go and check this out, because it has basically all the same stuff in it, except for you get a few extra items. It does include the What's Up, and I haven't even broke into mine because I have a full size, but this is a beautiful product for strobing. Oh, I didn't put any highlighter on today. So if you need a little bit of strobing action in your life, you can pick that up, and it gives you a little sample of the What's Up. But once again, if you have the Cheeky Sweet Spot, honestly, there's no reason for you to buy that other palette. Like, it's exactly the same almost, and you would be better off just buying Their Real mascara and liner than to purchase that whole palette just for packaging. Alrighty, so the next thing that I've been wanting, and I don't really have a dupe for part of this, but I'll show you what I do have, is Makeup Geek. I told my husband that this year for Christmas, I want to make a Makeup Geek palette. I have been saying that for so long, and I honestly feel like there's the foiled shadows, there's the holographic, there's the regular shadows. So there's so many things to choose from that it would be a good time to do that. For the regular Makeup Geek line, it's kind of hard for me to justify buying some of those shadows as amazing as they are, because I do have 1, 2, 3 Mirabella palettes in neutrals, colors, and don't worry, a whole palette designated just to pinks. And this is a palette that I definitely want to break out as it's getting into fall. It has all those warm, buttery, gorgeous shades. So we'll see. I will be very choosy, and I'm not going to just do like a whole line of every sort. I'm going to just mix and match and make a palette that has a few samplings of everything, just so you can be familiar with the line. Now, as far as the foiled shadows go, I've heard they're very similar to ColourPop. I have a ton of ColourPop, and so I don't feel like I need to go jump and buy every single color when I've got a bunch of different colors already in the ColourPop line. Now the holographic, I think that's what made me finally feel like I wanted to make a purchase, because I was like, oh, it's so pretty. And I don't have a lot of holographic stuff, which is like kind of surprising, I guess. So one thing I do have is in my project pan, and it's this Salty Cosmetic. It kind of has a pink and violet shift to it, and I have that on my lid today. So I have this product. As far as like crazy, like green to gold or blue to pink or whatever, I don't really have a lot of stuff like that, and I'm really interested. So although I'm going to be using these things, I think that's something I'm going to put on my Christmas wish list rather than getting more things that are similar to things I already have, if that makes sense. Okay, let's just talk about the Ambient Light palette for a minute. Can we give it a moment of silence for how beautiful this thing is? Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I don't really have a lot like that. I do have several mineralized skin finishes. All right, so I do have this powder from Mirabella. This has since been discontinued. This is the closest thing I have to an Ambient Light palette, because it is a shimmery, not shimmery, it is kind of a illuminating highlighter, but it's not shimmery. So I could actually use it all over my face, and this is completely full, and it's got the several different colors in it like that palette does. So I do use this, and then I have 2 mineralized skin finishes. This one's Soft and Gentle and Stereo Rose, and those are the 2 I have on the lighter side. Plus I have tons of highlighters. Like, let's be honest, I have tons of highlighters. So I feel like that's something I could pass on just because it is really steep, but it is very tempting. All right, next is the gorgeous and beautiful Vice 4 palette. What can I say? I have Vice 3, and this is a beautiful palette, but as you can see, I haven't dipped into it into an incredibly huge way. I can't justify buying Vice 4 when I have this, which is almost practically untouched. So I'm gonna go ahead and pass on that. It's $60. I know the shades are going to be different, but I've got this that needs some more love, so that's kind of an easy one for me to pass up. Now, I did see the Lorac Mega 2 palette is coming out. The Lorac Mega 1 like broke the internet. So it was a huge, you know, popular thing. But once it kind of came, it just kind of went. Like, I didn't hear a lot about it afterwards. And I did see some reviews from Xbarkage saying that it was a little bit powdery. So she was just kind of like, So if I'm wanting a big majority of colors and textures, I reach for my Smashbox Wonder Vision palette. So this is going to be my go-to if I want a ton of different ranges of finishes and textures. It has blushes in here. This is an amazing palette. So, I mean, this really just covers anything I could ever want. So, hard to justify getting a Lorac Pro when I got a lot of shadows in here. Okay, the next is the Born This Way foundation from Too Faced. I do want to go down and get a sample of it and just kind of review it and let you guys know, because some of you have asked how I've liked it. And I'm not saying that it's similar to this at all, but I do have a very nice high-end foundation, which is the NARS Sheer Glow. I don't like to have a lot of open foundations at once because I do feel like that's one of those things that do expire, and I don't want to have like 20 foundations expire at once and waste like $500. So I still have this, but I am intrigued in trying that. So maybe after I use this up, that would be something I'll repurchase next. But for now, I'm going to keep using this. So Tarte always comes out with lots of fun holiday stuff. It has an Ulta exclusive palette and a Sephora exclusive palette, which are the Light of the Party and the Greatest Glitz. And they all have various like different eyeshadow palettes, blushes, things mixed in there. I always go back to this thing. Okay, I've decided that I wanted to pot this. It is just too big in my makeup collection. I want to either take this little section out somehow, but I really wanted to pot these blushes. I just feel like it's not very usable the way it is because it takes up so much room in my vanity. I've got these glosses in here still. They're not getting used. So I want to just rip this apart and depot these, and if I have to put magnets on the back of them, I can. But that's kind of, I just broke that. This kind of needs to be depotted so it can get more use. So for all those palettes, I know they're going to be beautiful. I have different shadows, different colors. But this is a great Tarte palette, and this doesn't get enough love either. So I'm going to go ahead and reach for that. Same thing with the little Tarte lip palette that it comes out with every year. I do have these shades of blushes and highlighter and bronzer, so I don't feel like I really want to get another 4 or 5 pan palette from Tarte, just blushes, when I already have these that I love. So the next would be the IT Cosmetics Naturally's Beautiful Romantics palette or whatever. And to be honest, I don't really have anything that's going to be an exact dupe or something I feel like I'm going to reach for the most. And this feels like so silly to even compare this to this, because this is never going to even come close to how beautiful that palette is probably. But I have my little matte palette from e.l.f. that I've been digging into, and although it's not going to be as pigmented, I still haven't been enjoying this. I want to get some more use out of that. And I do have matte shadows mixed into all these little different palettes that I've been talking about. So it's hard to justify it when I feel like there's a lot of pinks and rose tones, and I have a lot of those in my collection, so it's something that I'm going to pass on. I don't know what Smashbox is going to be releasing. By the time I edit and upload this video, all these palettes may be gone. There might be new stuff coming out. I mean, it's always changing in the makeup world. But I know Smashbox usually releases a holiday palette, but I did end up finding this at a CCO this year, which was last year's On the Rocks palette. And so I will be using this, and I will not be purchasing any Smashbox holiday palettes. I have two. I've shown you the Wonder Vision, which was another holiday palette from a previous year. And I do find that these palettes go to a CCO. So if there is an amazing holiday palette, I usually can get it for much less if I wait and get it in the spring. Last but not least is the Melted Kisses and Sweet Cheeks little bundle. I do have some of the Melted Kisses already. I do really like these. I have tons of matte lipsticks, ColourPop, e.l.f., tons of those kind of things. And so, I mean, I do have products that are very similar to that. Although I love the idea of having the blush lip combo, and I would have purchased that if I would have been given the chance in the beginning. I have a ton of blush, like a ton. So I can't justify buying that just to get a few blush shades, you know. But if I didn't have either of these and I didn't have a lot of blush, I would definitely go for that because I think it's a really awesome deal. And I love trying out lots of products at a smaller price. Anyway, that's everything for my anti-haul today. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope it gives you a little bit of strength to look into your collection, find what you have, use what you have, and don't just buy holiday collections just to have them, just for packaging. It's so hard. They suck you in. I'm guilty too. But just go into your collection, find things that you love that you've maybe forgotten about, pull them out, use them, and try new and fun different looks, and I'll see you guys later. Bye! My lash line, I've also popped the blue in the inner corners, put it on the lid. So I have found that I have made different ways to make this work, but at the same time, putting glue on the inner corners, I have to do that a lot of times to get this whole thing used up. So